most people in this space, they're chasing status, they're chasing money, they're chasing freedom. But in a weird way, for me personally, 1,000 times above anything else, I'm chasing myself, and I'm chasing a future state that I'm in. And that doesn't mean me in a Lamborghini or something like that, but it means a future me and a future identity that I have. And this is a very, very important thing to, properly, deeply understand. So what I want to do for you in this video is break down the 5 most important parts of what I mean by, I always use this term, becoming he who can, and kind of evolving yourself. And there are 5 incredibly important understandings when it comes to this evolution of yourself. But before that, if you don't know who I am, I'm Matt. I built an agency, and now I'm building a coaching business, basically teaching people what I did with the agency and still do with the coaching business. And really the entire goal with what we do is helping more early stage agency owners hit that $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per month mark. So the first thing I want to talk about is you. Who are you? If you had to answer that, the way that I like to define it, and the way that makes the most sense to me, is that you right now, or me, we're a bundle of beliefs. You have beliefs about everything, right? And who you are right now is just you holding some type of attachment to your current belief system, right? Let's take some examples. You believe that coconut water tastes really good, so you have a positive belief around that. You believe that, let's say that AirPods are really bad for you because of the radiation or whatever the fuck, so you really don't like AirPods. We have, millions of things, whether it's about Barack Obama or whether it's about a microphone, that you have either positive or negative beliefs about. And the culmination of all of those, like I said, millions of beliefs, is you and your identity. Now, this understanding could be either the most limiting or the most freeing thing of your life. Because if you mold your goals to fit your beliefs, then your goals are very, very limited. If you believe money isn't really that abundant and sales is really difficult and cold calling is really scary, then your beliefs that are kind of limiting you, and you're going to be stopped in your tracks. But if instead we can mold your identity and mold your beliefs to fit your goals, then the goal that you want, the outcome, is limitless, and you can achieve anything you want, whether it's 50k per month, 100k per month, whether it's reversing climate change, going to Mars, or whatever it might be. If you can kind of reverse engineer this, and instead of just trying to match the goals to your beliefs, match the beliefs to your goal, that's where things get very, very cool. So let's say you want to make $50,000 a month, and you want to sell some high-ticket service that's $8,000, right? You need to reframe and reshape your beliefs to that, money being abundant and your prospects being easily able to afford $8,000, $10,000, $20,000 things. So it's much more so about evolving you and evolving your identity than it is thinking, woe is me, this is me, there's nothing that I can do, and this is what I'm limited by. You're not limited by it, and I'm going to show you in this video how we can step by step overcome these beliefs that you currently have. Now, point 2 and point 3 are very, very similar, but point 2 is the oscillation trap, and this is what I see in so many entrepreneurs. And I got taught this from my mentor, Charlie Morgan. Essentially, what it looks like, and I believe he actually learned it from Sam Evans, but what this looks like is if you mapped out, let's say for the last 12 months, you haven't really been growing. You've been kind of stagnant in your progress. If we mapped out areas of your life, you would see a pretty common wave-like pattern being formed. So where maybe, you peak at like $5,000 in monthly recurring revenue, and then you drop down to 1K. And then you go back up to 5K, and you go back down to 1K, to 5K, back down to 1K. Maybe right now, in your bank account, the most that you have right now is like $7,000, and then it goes down to like $1,000. But then, when you're at 1,000, you think, oh fuck, I need to make more money. So you lock back in, you get up to $7,000. When you're at $7,000, you're super happy, excited, and top of the world. Maybe you go on a trip, maybe you spend a lot of money, get back down to $1,000. And when we're stagnating, we can kind of see this wave-like pattern emerging. And we can map it out, whether it's the time that you go to sleep, whether it's your diet, your amount of meetings that you book a month, your monthly recurring revenue. These oscillations occur. And the reason that they occur, and the root of all of this, is point number 3, which is pain. Pain really is the driving factor in everything, in this entire understanding. Because, if you look at these up and downs, these oscillations of your life, when you're at $10,000 a month or $7,000 a month, whatever, you're very, very high. Your pain level here is 0. You're proud, comfortable, you're very happy. And when you're proud, comfortable, and very happy, you're not really doing the inputs, you're not trying as hard as you could be, because you're comfortable, you're very happy. So that starts to go down and down and down and down until you hit rock bottom. So for you, maybe that's when you're at 0 MRR or 2K MRR or whatever that might be. But when you hit rock bottom, when you're at 0, this is where the pain is like 12 out of 10, 11 out of 10, because you do not go past your minimum standards. If there's one thing that humans don't do, is they don't go past their minimum standards, right? So for you, maybe $2,000 a month is your absolute minimum standard right now. $2,000 a month for you, anything below that is disgusting. It's like the same level as not brushing your teeth, or it's the same level as like, you know, not shooting people, right? It's just something that you don't do. You don't go below $2,000. So when you're here, your pain level is 1,000,000,000 out of 10. You're fucking borderline suicide, right? Like it's bad. And then we use that pain to drive our actions, and then using that pain, we go back up to this point at, you know, $7,000. We're comfortable, you're happy, you feel proud of yourself, you feel like you're doing well, and then we're down and up and down and up and down. Now, really the root cause of everything good is pain. And I mean, it's pretty contrarian, and you know, it kind of does make sense that we achieve something through its opposite. We achieve, you know, pleasure through pain. But I mean, the root cause of all the growth, all the good times, is pain, and the root cause of all the bad times is comfort, right? So pain kind of equals growth. And so what we need to do here is something called flipping the floor. And this is once again something that Charlie Morgan came up with, my mentor. But what this looks like is we, you know, instead of being happy at $7,000, we need to start seeing $7,000 at the exact same way that you would see $2,000. $7,000 needs to be at the same level as not brushing your teeth or going and shooting up a playground, right? It's just something that you absolutely don't do. So when you're at $7,000, we need to have that kind of same level of pain and of anger as you would be at $2,000. And the only way we could do that without just faking it is by changing your identity and changing your beliefs. Right, remember what we said in point 1. You either limit your goals to your beliefs, or you set goals and then you change your beliefs in accordance with them. So we need to change our beliefs that $7,000 is objectively fucking terrible. Right? If $7,000 right now is a lot to you, and you want to get to, you know, $10,000, $20,000 a month, we cannot see things in that light. $7,000 needs to be the fucking worst news of your life. Right? So for me right now, the goal for me is to get the company to $50,000 a month. And for me to get there, that's all well and good, but it's a bit shit. It's a bit shit. Like there's no celebration when I'm there. There's nothing good about being at $50,000 a month. So now for me personally, if I was at $100,000 a month, right now my current sense of self would be awesome, very happy with that, over the moon. Like, oh my god, $100,000, that's great. But anything, you know, below $50,000 a month, it's terrible. There's nothing worse than being at below 50k per month, and it eats away at me every day. And that's why I've been able to, especially in the past week, since I kind of, you know, relearned all of this mindset stuff, it really helped me out a lot. And that's another kind of side point here, but you need to be reminded far more than you need to be taught. I've learned this stuff again and again and again, but it's when I go away for 3, 4, 5 months and just kind of do my own thing and don't revisit my initial mindset trainings that I start to fall off and I start to do the wrong things. Because I think I know it all, but I don't. And just re-going through the initial mindset modules of whatever training you're in helps you so much. Quick side point there. But for me right now, because this is now top of mind for me, I've been able to do so much more in terms of hiring more sellers, in terms of doing more outbound, in terms of hiring VAs, in terms of now, you know, running ads for the company. Being at under 50k per month is it's terrible. It's the worst thing in the fucking world for me, right? And you need to have that same thing with 7k per month, 10k per month, whatever it is that you want to get to. Anything below that is bullshit. At 50k or slightly above 50k, so my head's above water, I'm breathing. That's the kind of paradigm that we need to have surrounding our goals. If you want to set a goal, we need to set a minimum standards, because humans do not achieve their goals, they achieve the absolute minimum standards. Now, when it comes to changing our beliefs so that we can, you know, have them in alignment with our goals, how do we actually go about doing that? And to properly answer this question, we have to first ask, what creates beliefs? And the only thing that creates beliefs is experiences. And you can experience something in 6 ways. First of all, your 5 senses, right? You can hear something, you can see something, you can touch something, you can smell something, and you can taste something. But you can also have an experience mentally. And I guess it's kind of 2, because you can imagine something and you can remember something, You can, so if you right now, and to show you how real this is, I'll give you 2 examples for it, one for each. If you go back now into your memory, you can think of some, super embarrassing thing. Maybe when you were in primary school, someone said a joke about you and everybody laughed and you felt like you wanted to cry, right? Whatever it might be. If you close your eyes and really vividly imagine that, you're going to experience the emotion and the physical sensations of embarrassment, right? And we talked about your beliefs before. Imagine your beliefs as a scale, right? There's positive on this side and negative on this side. If you experience something negative, so let's say that year 5 situation, when you were in year 5, someone made a joke about you. Let's take that year 5 situation. It starts with kind of, I guess, let's call it 1 rock in the negative, right? 1 rock in the negative because you experienced that in real life and it sucked, it was negative. But when you replay it again in your mind, you put another rock in the negative because you remember it again. You remember how cringe and embarrassing it was again. And then you do it again and again and again and again. And the initial experience really is like 1% of the issue, but you going over it again and again and again and again and again in your mind is what's going to put more and more and more rocks on the red negative scale, right? So the same way that we can do that, just, when we remember something embarrassing, we can do the same for something good, right? So beliefs-wise, let's say your belief right now regarding money is that, I had this experience when I was a kid that my parents told me money doesn't grow on trees. My parents told me to, always save my money, and because money is not easy to come by. So because of that, I have, some negativity surrounding sales and my belief that people have a lot of money to spend. And also, when I was like a kid, I heard my parents arguing about financial difficulties. So once again, another rock in there, right? So you're starting, pretty negatively swayed towards a negative belief and mindset around money. And the way that we can, because ideally what we want to have is this, right? We'll be all the way polarized to thinking that money is so easy to come by. Everybody has so much money, like a 5k payment is just no money at all. It's simple, it's easy, right? The way we get there is having these experiences. And the best way to do that, the way that you can do it consistently every day, is having these experiences imaginatory. And this is what people talk about when they're talking about visualization. Visualization isn't some woo-wah bullshit thing that doesn't do anything. When we are visualizing something, the same way that when you visualized you being embarrassed in year 5, you felt that sense of embarrassment and a rock got added to the scale of the negative of that experience. If we can have this thing that, actually, money does grow on trees and money is extremely abundant. For me to hit, 10k per month, that's like 0.0000100 of the GDP of my country. I'm sure I can probably manage that. It's basically no money at all, right? When we can think about that and visualize that, we're then going to stack we're going to take a rock. When we can think about that and visualize that, we can take a rock out of the red negative scale and put it on the positive one. And of course, your beliefs aren't going to change overnight, especially if you've had a lot of negative ones. But over time, as we do this again and again and again and again, the scale is going to stack more positive and positive and positive. And the more that the scale stacks positive, the more that you're going to believe it. So that the more that on sales calls, you're going to feel completely comfortable dropping the price, and then you're going to feel completely comfortable, thinking that people have a lot of money. So you're going to close more deals for more high tickets. So we're going to have these imaginatory experiences, but then also these real life experiences of you closing more high ticket deals. So we can tip the scale more and more and more and more and more to the point where now you're closing very often for high 4 figures, low 5 figures, whatever your ticket range is, and you think that it's normal. I mean people have the money, it's worth it, so there's no reason that they shouldn't, right? We can completely change our set of beliefs in accordance and in alignment with our goals. Now, number 5, the last point, this is much less kind of specific, but this is just all around, is obsession. We need to be completely obsessed with not the Lamborghini, not the car. I mean, if you have those things as external motivators, that's absolutely fine. That's more power to you. But above everything else, your growth and your development needs to be by far the number 1 most important thing, by a landslide. Your growth and the development of you becoming he who can. So me going from, Matt V1, who was a fucking loser video gamer, to Matt V2, to Matt V3, to Matt V, whatever I am now. That's the most important thing. is the leveling up and the growth of you and your character and your mind above everything else. That's what we need to be completely obsessed over if we want to see some real results. So if you are a more early stage agency owner and you want help in becoming he who can, and you want help in appointment booking and sales, the first link in the description is for you. So go ahead, click that right now. Do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.